I cleared out my office with eerie calm. The fluorescent lights hummed above me as if mocking my composure. My husband's father, chairman, patriarch, self-proclaimed kingmaker, had handed my role, my clients, my life's work to the daughter of some man who couldn't even keep his poker debts straight. "She'll love the clients," I told him, my voice steady, my smile thin. He didn't hear the venom buried beneath the words. The next morning, when the largest account called, the new girl froze. Her screen lit up with names she didn't recognize, numbers she couldn't interpret. By the time she stammered into her headset, the damage had already started. Clients don't wait for weakness, they smell it, and they were pulling out. She gasped. I watched from the doorway, silent. Before the fall, I wasn't always like this, controlled, deliberate, sharp as glass. Once, I was naive enough to think loyalty mattered. 3 years ago, my husband's father shook my hand the way men shake when they've already decided you're beneath them. "Keep the clients happy," he said, as if I were being handed a tray of drinks instead of multi-million-dollar portfolios. I smiled and did it anyway. I built those accounts from bones, worked nights until the city went dark, kept relationships alive with nothing but intuition, persistence, and the quiet skill of listening. I thought, foolishly, that proof of my worth would protect me. Then came her. Poker friend's daughter. Bright lipstick. Empty eyes. She breezed through the office like entitlement wrapped in perfume. My father-in-law introduced her with a smirk, the way some men show off a new car. "Fresh energy," he said. I should have known then. The first crack. It wasn't sudden. Betrayals rarely are. They seep in slowly, like water under a locked door. A client mentioned being redirected. Another asked why I hadn't followed up, though I had. Meetings were rescheduled without my knowledge. I caught whispers in the break room, cut off the moment I stepped inside. And then, the final confirmation. An email, forwarded to me by accident. The board had voted. My position was hers, effective immediately. I read it twice, then a third time. My hands didn't shake. My breath didn't quicken. Instead, I felt something colder settle in my chest, a decision forming. The silence before the strike. When you've been underestimated long enough, you learn the value of silence. I didn't protest, didn't argue, didn't cry. I packed my files into neat boxes, smiled at the receptionist, wished the interns good luck on their projects. Every movement precise, like I was folding origami from the ashes of my career. They thought I was leaving defeated. What they didn't realize, I was taking with me the one thing they couldn't replace: the trust of the clients. I had built relationships that weren't bound by contracts, but by loyalty. They called me when their marriages fell apart, when their children applied for colleges, when their businesses teetered on collapse. I was more than their manager. I was their anchor. So I left the office with my boxes and my calm smile, and all their anchors quietly tethered to me. The plan. It didn't take much. A single email here, a discreet phone call there. Not persuasion, just truth. "I won't be managing your account anymore. I was replaced. But I wanted you to know before you find out the hard way." I never asked them to follow me. I didn't need to. People don't stay with companies, they stay with people. And I had been their person. I signed nothing on my way out. They had been careless. My contracts were vague, my non-compete unenforceable. They assumed my loyalty, never imagining I might turn it into a blade. The collapse. The day after I left, the first account called. By noon, 3 more followed. By the end of the week, half of the portfolio had vanished into silence. The new girl sat pale in her office, clutching the phone like it might bite her. "They're all pulling out," she gasped. Her voice cracked under the weight of numbers she didn't understand. I stood in the doorway, my expression unreadable. She looked at me as if I might save her. But I wasn't there to save anyone. Confrontation. My father-in-law summoned me 3 days later. His office reeked of cigars and desperation. "What did you do?" his voice thundered across the desk. "Nothing," I said calmly. "I left. You told me to." His face reddened. "They were supposed to stay with the firm." I leaned forward. "No, they stayed with me. And when you replaced me with a girl who's never worked a day in her life, they chose to leave. That's not betrayal, that's consequence." He stared at me, silent for once. I savored it, the sound of a man choking on his own arrogance. Resolution. I didn't return to his company. I didn't need to. Within weeks, I had built something new, smaller, leaner, but mine. And the clients came not out of pity, but out of choice.